the coin hiding a collector's secret. Welcome back to Old Coin Empire. What if I told you that a quarter worth only 25 cents could be hiding a secret that most people never notice? A coin that's passed through thousands of hands, sat in cash registers, disappeared into piggy banks, and maybe, just maybe, is sitting in your pocket right now. Most people see an ordinary quarter and spend it without a second thought. But collectors know something different. Sometimes the biggest treasures aren't made of gold or silver. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight. And today's coin is proof. The 2006 South Dakota State Quarter. At first glance, it doesn't seem extraordinary. The design shows famous landmarks and symbols connected to South Dakota. You can see Mount Rushmore, fields of wheat, and the ring-necked pheasant soaring above. To most people, it's simply another state quarter. But the story behind this coin is far more interesting than many realize. Back in 1999, the United States Mint launched one of the most successful coin programs in American history, the State Quarter Program. Collectors across America suddenly began searching through pocket change, hoping to complete all 50 states. Families filled coin folders. Children checked every quarter they received. Banks couldn't keep rolls in stock. A nationwide treasure hunt had begun. By the time South Dakota's quarter was released in 2006, millions of Americans were actively searching for these coins. And yet, among the billions produced, a few special examples quietly slipped into circulation. Examples that collectors would later pay surprising amounts of money to own. Now here's where things get interesting. The South Dakota quarter was struck at both Philadelphia and Denver. Look closely at the front of your coin. If you see a P, it came from Philadelphia. If you see a D, it came from Denver. Most are common, but condition changes everything. A heavily worn quarter may still be worth only face value. However, an exceptionally preserved example with strong luster and virtually no work can attract serious collector attention. That's because finding high-grade state quarters isn't always easy. Many entered circulation immediately and suffered years of handling. The nicest survivors become much harder to find, and harder usually means more valuable. Some certified high-grade South Dakota quarters have sold for hundreds of dollars. Imagine that. A coin originally worth 25 cents becoming worth hundreds simply because it survived in remarkable condition. But condition isn't the only thing collectors watch for. Errors are where the real excitement begins. Every year, mistakes happen inside the mint. Machines strike coins slightly off-center. Die cracks appear. Design details become distorted. And sometimes these minting mistakes create collectible treasures. Collectors carefully inspect South Dakota quarters for unusual errors, including off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and dramatic doubling. Most people never notice these details. They spend the coin and move on, but experienced hunters know better. One unusual error can transform an ordinary quarter into something special. That's why thousands of collectors still search rolls of quarters today. They're not looking for spending money. They're looking for hidden opportunities. They're looking for the coin everyone else missed. And that's exactly what makes coin collecting so addictive. You never know when the next quarter might change everything. Picture this. You're standing in line at a grocery store. The cashier hands you change. You glance down. There's a South Dakota quarter. Most people wouldn't even look twice. But now you know something they don't. You know that condition matters. You know that mint marks matter. You know that errors matter. And suddenly that ordinary quarter doesn't seem so ordinary anymore. Could it be worth more? Could it have a rare variety? Could it be one of the finest examples still surviving? Those questions keep collectors searching day after day. Because every coin tells a story. And sometimes that story comes with an unexpected reward. The South Dakota quarter remains a favorite among state quarter collectors because it combines beautiful design, American history, and the possibility of discovering something rare. Yet as interesting as this quarter is, the next coin in our story may be even more surprising, because the next quarter honors a woman who didn't just make history on Earth. She made history in space. And some collectors are already searching for rare examples that could become future treasures. Let's move on to the remarkable 2022 Dr. Sally Ride quarter. Send part 2, and I'll write the 559-word Dr. Sally Ride Quarter story script with the same high-retention storytelling style. Wilma Mankiller Quarter 2022. The modern quarter collectors can't stop searching for. By now, you've seen a quarter connected to American history. You've seen a quarter connected to space exploration. But this final coin tells a very different story. A story of leadership. A story of perseverance. And a story that has made this quarter one of the most recognizable coins in the American Women Quarters program. The 2022 Wilma Mankiller Quarter. At first glance, it may look like just another modern quarter passing through circulation. But collectors know there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. Wilma Mankiller was a groundbreaking leader who became the first woman elected principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. Her leadership inspired countless people and helped shape modern Native American history. When the United States Mint selected her for the American Women Quarters program, millions of new quarters entered circulation carrying her story. And just like that, another nationwide coin hunt began. Most people received these quarters in change and spent them without a second thought. Collectors did something different. They started looking closer. Because every new coin release creates an important question. Could any of these become future collectibles? The answer often depends on factors that many people never consider. Condition, mint marks, and perhaps most importantly, errors. The Wilma Mankiller Quarter was struck for circulation at both Philadelphia and Denver. Special collector versions were also produced at San Francisco. To most people, those tiny letters are easy to overlook, but experienced collectors understand that small details can make a huge difference. A heavily circulated coin might remain worth face value. A perfectly preserved example, however, can become far more desirable. As collectors compete for the highest quality examples, prices for top-graded coins can climb dramatically. That's one reason modern quarters continue attracting attention. Many people assume valuable coins must be old. Collectors know that isn't always true. Sometimes a coin only a few years old can generate serious interest. And that brings us to the most exciting part of the story. Mint errors. Every year, billions of coins are struck. Despite advanced technology, mistakes still happen. And when they do, collectors pay attention. Very close attention. Some Wilma Mankiller quarters have been examined for doubling, die chips, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other unusual minting abnormalities. Most coins are perfectly normal, but every collector knows the next roll could contain something unexpected. That's what keeps the hunt alive. Imagine opening a bankroll of quarters. One coin catches your eye. Something looks different. The design appears unusual. The strike seems off. You take a closer look. Could it be an error? Could it be a rare variety? Could it be worth far more than 25 cents? Those questions create the excitement that drives coin collecting. Because sometimes the most valuable discoveries begin with a simple glance. The Wilma Mankiller Quarter has become especially popular among modern collectors because it combines history, culture, and the possibility of finding hidden varieties. It represents more than money. It represents a story. And collectors love coins that tell stories. Today, thousands of people across America continue checking their change, searching quarter rolls, and examining mint sets. Many are hoping to find that one special coin everyone else overlooked. Maybe you've already handled one. Maybe you've spent one without realizing it. Or maybe one is sitting in a coin jar waiting to be discovered. That's the incredible thing about modern coin hunting. Treasure doesn't always come from ancient shipwrecks or forgotten vaults. Sometimes it comes from ordinary pocket change. Sometimes it comes from a quarter. And sometimes it comes from a quarter carrying the name Wilma Mankiller. So before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Check for unusual details. Because hidden treasures are still out there. And the next valuable coin might already be in your hands. Thanks for watching Old Coin Empire. And remember, the rarest coin is often the one people never bothered to inspect. Dr. Sally Ride Quarter 2022, the quarter that reached the stars. The next coin in our story begins far above the clouds, far beyond the cities, highways, and neighborhoods where quarters usually travel. This coin is connected to a place very few human beings have ever seen with their own eyes: space. And that connection is exactly why collectors became fascinated when the 2022 Dr. Sally Ride quarter entered circulation. At first glance, it may seem like just another modern quarter, but hidden behind its design is a story of courage, determination, and history-making achievement. In 1983, Dr. Sally Ride became the first American woman to travel into space. Millions of people watched as she boarded the Space Shuttle Challenger and made history. She wasn't just breaking records. She was inspiring an entire generation. Decades later, the United States Mint honored her legacy through the American Women Quarters program. And suddenly, a new treasure hunt began. Collectors everywhere started searching rolls of quarters, hoping to find pristine examples before they became difficult to locate. Most people spent them without hesitation. Collectors did the exact opposite. They started saving them. And whenever collectors begin saving coins, something interesting happens. The best examples become harder to find in circulation. That creates demand. And demand creates opportunity. Now here's where things get exciting. The Dr. Sally Ride quarter was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia and Denver. Some were also produced as special collector issues from San Francisco. To the average person, those tiny mint marks might seem unimportant, but collectors know those small letters can make a big difference. A common circulated coin may only be worth face value, but a flawless example with strong strike quality and brilliant surfaces can command much higher prices. In top certified grades, some modern quarters have sold for hundreds of dollars. That's what makes searching so thrilling. You never know when an ordinary-looking coin could turn out to be extraordinary. But condition isn't the only thing collectors watch for. The real mystery often comes from mint errors. Every year, millions upon millions of coins are produced. Even with advanced technology, mistakes still happen. And those mistakes create some of the most valuable modern coins. Collectors search Dr. Sally Ride quarters for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, missing details, and other unusual minting errors. Most errors are minor. A few are dramatic, and the dramatic ones are the coins collectors dream about finding. Imagine discovering a quarter in your pocket change that somehow escaped the mint with a visible mistake. A mistake that transformed a 25-cent coin into a collectible worth far more. It sounds unbelievable, yet stories like that happen every year. That's why experienced coin hunters never stop checking their change. They understand something most people don't. Treasures aren't always buried underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight. The Dr. Sally Ride quarter is especially popular because it combines history with modern collecting excitement. It honors an American pioneer, while also giving collectors a fresh coin to search for. And because many examples remain in circulation, the hunt is still alive today. Maybe you've already handled one. Maybe you've spent one without noticing. Or maybe one is sitting in a jar somewhere in your house right now, waiting to be discovered, waiting for someone to look a little closer. That's the magic of coin collecting. Every coin carries a possibility. Every pocketful of change contains a mystery. And sometimes that mystery leads to an unexpected reward. But if you think this quarter has an incredible story, wait until you see the next coin. Because the final quarter in today's lineup honors a groundbreaking leader whose impact changed lives forever. And among the coins released in 2022, this one has quickly become one of the most talked about pieces among modern collectors. Let's take a closer look at the fascinating 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter.